my biggest problem with my YouTube channel was thinking that I could just come on here and just post whenever, whatever, and without no strategy, without a plan, without being intentional. I had to stop doing these 5 things in order to get my channel to start actually growing. At some point, my channel became stuck, but now I am seeing actual growth. I'm seeing real growth. I'm seeing more engagement. And here is the 5 things I had to do in order to do that. The first thing you need to do is stop waiting. Okay, so I had to stop waiting. Like, I had to stop waiting to post. I had to stop waiting to edit. I had to stop waiting. Stop waiting, okay? Stop. What are you waiting for? I would make a schedule. I would plan content, and then I would wait. I would be like, okay, well, I'm going to film this on this day, or I'm going to film this tomorrow, or I'm going to film this next week. And then when I film it, I'm going to edit it next tomorrow. I'm going to edit it the next day. And then the next day will turn into the next week. And then I would miss a week. And then I'd be like, okay, well, I'm supposed to be posting every Wednesday, but I missed the Wednesday. So I'm going to wait till next Wednesday. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. What are you waiting for? The more you wait, the more the longer the longer you wait, the longer it's going to take you to get to where you want to be. Just trust me, it's going to take you longer. Like, the longer you start, the longer it takes you. You're gonna fail. You're gonna have lessons to be learned. But you're not going to get there if you keep waiting. And that's what I had to learn. You have to stop waiting. And then that goes into the next tip, which is number 2, which is stop trying to be perfect. The reason why I was waiting is because I wanted to be perfect. I wanted, I felt like at some point I felt like I couldn't come on camera without looking a certain way, girl. Then also, like, my background, like, I felt like I had to have a perfect background, or like, I had to have the perfect equipment, or it wasn't the right time of day, which that can be a thing. But stop waiting, stop being perfect. YouTube is different, it's not the same. You don't have to come on here and uh have all these edits and a very heavily edited video and a super perfect video. A lot of people are really liking, like, raw content. I've been seeing a lot of people filming in their cars. So, like, even if you're the only time you have is that time that you're sitting in traffic waiting to go somewhere, pull out your camera and record a video. Like, you don't have to be perfect. And what are you waiting for? When you're waiting, you're not perfecting your craft. You're not learning. You're not making mistakes. Yes, do research. I spend a lot of time doing research, but sometimes you get caught up in that research loop, and then eventually you just burn out and you're like, okay, well, you get overstimulated and there's just too much going on. Keep it simple. Okay, you don't have to do every single thing that you're seeing. Yes, it's good to have the research and the knowledge, but just start. Just the first video idea that you get, that you resonate with, that you feel like, okay, I can go with that and post that. Just think about that video and set up and record, film it, edit it, and post it. You're not going to like everything about it. There's going to be things that you hate about it, but you may post it and people love it. You just don't know. So you have to get there in order to learn. Stop not being intentional. Stop not having a strategy. So let me just explain to y'all how I got into YouTube. I really loved watching YouTube. I still love watching YouTube. I very much engage with YouTube a lot. I watch a lot of creators on YouTube, and this is something that I watch a lot. So I'm very much into YouTube. So when I started YouTube, of course, I watch a lot of creators that's been doing it for a while. I watch, like, some OGs that's been in the game for a while. So a lot of times the OGs, their story usually is like, especially if they was on YouTube since before YouTube was paying, they just started and posting and posting for fun. Like they just started doing it because it was something that they were interested in doing. And then, it started out to be a fun thing. And the next thing you know, they learned they could make money. And then they started making money. And then they started making a lot of money. And then so I was going kind of like not based off of that, but I just saw the passion that they had. And I felt like I had that same kind of, I resonated with them. So I'm like, okay, I want to do it because it seems like something that I'm into. It's definitely something that I'm into. I mean, obviously, it's something that I'm into, but also at some point, your favorites, my favorite YouTubers, once they started learning that they can make money off of this, what did they start doing? They started strategizing, right? They started using their analytics. They started seeing which videos perform well, and then they started posting based off of those stats. Like, of course, like they learned they could make money. Of what did they do? That they started working with more brands. They started more doing more branding. So while we're over here trying to be small YouTubers and just doing this for the fun and just doing it for the creativity, yes, that's fun and I love being creative, but you also have to be intentional. If your plan is to come on here and grow an audience, you must be intentional. You cannot come on here without a strategy. The big YouTubers that you're seeing that's getting all of these views, even the small ones that's getting a lot of views, they're using strategies. They're coming on here. They're looking at their analytics. They're looking at what's trending. They're doing the research. So you have to do the same. So I had to learn that I had to do the same thing. I can't just come on here and just post and not pay attention to my analytics. Stop ignoring your analytics. For me personally, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like I used to be so scared of my analytics. Not so scared, but I used to be intimidated by by my analytics. And I had to learn that your analytics are here to help you. Yes, it is a hard truth because it is constructive criticism, and the criticism part is a part that we as humans have a hard time, you know, dealing with is criticism. So you could be subconsciously ignoring your analytics, but I want to challenge you to go into your analytics and click around, look deep into those analytics, go as deep as it will allow you to go. Look at things such as demographics, the geographical location of your subscribers, your impressions, your impression click through rate. Like there are so many things that are included in your analytics to tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong and what you can do to continue to grow your channel. So my problem was not paying attention to my analytics and just posting videos, and when I say wasn't paying attention to my analytics, I really wasn't looking at anything besides my views. And once I got monetized, the money and my subscriber count, which all three of those things, well, except for the money, I have to be honest, except for the money. But all three of those things, well, two of those things, which is the views and the subscriber count, are the least important things when it comes to your analytics. Subscriber count and views are the least important things when it comes to your analytics. Everything else is way more important than those two things. So I was really only looking at that, like looking at my views and looking at my subscriber count. That was really the only two things I was paying attention to. I was kind of paying attention to watch hours, but that was more so when I was trying to get monetized. And then once I got monetized, I didn't really care. So yeah, you really do have to dig into your analytics. And if you are not digging into that, you are doing yourself a disservice. And if you're wondering why your channel is not growing and you are being stagnant, it is because you are ignoring those analytics. Get into them. Stop comparing yourself. Yes, it is important to do research. And so me, like I said, I'm on YouTube. I watch YouTube. I watch a lot of other bigger creators and I watch a lot of smaller creators. If you're going to compare yourself, stop comparing yourself to the big creators. Like stop comparing yourself to a creator that has been on YouTube for 10 plus years and they've built a following over a long time. They've put in a lot of work, and you're looking at them and you're like, well, they posted this video, so I'm gonna post the same similar type of video and maybe mine. No, stop comparing yourself. And I understand if that's the content you want to do, but you also need to research and look at smaller YouTubers and what smaller YouTubers are doing, because YouTube is changing. Like, YouTube is giving smaller YouTubers and smaller creators more love. So you don't have to necessarily compare yourself to the big YouTuber and you're putting yourself down because you see them getting all these views and you're not getting a lot of views. Stop comparing yourself. Stop comparing yourself to everyone, period. You really want to just compare your own success. So, like, that's what I try to do. Yes, I look at other creators, and yes, I do sometimes compare my work with theirs just for research purposes, just to see what's out there and to make sure I am staying relevant. I don't want to post something and it not be relevant to today's time. Yes, I do compare myself for research purposes, but when it comes to my success on YouTube, I just compare myself to myself. I look at my analytics. I look at what I did last month. I look at what I did the month before. I look at what I did last year. So I'm looking at it on a week by week, on a month by month basis. When you see things like that more visually, if you're comparing your progress against yourself, then you are focusing on your craft. And that's really what's important. When you get stuck on comparing yourself to others, you get into like this down mode where you're like, well, why the algorithm won't like me? Why am I not? You're paying attention to the wrong thing. The thing that works for them may not work for you. So you need to focus on you and what will help your channel grow. Is the 5 things I had to do to stop my channel from being stagnant and seeing growth on my channel. It won't happen overnight. It won't happen tomorrow, but it will happen. The more that you work at it, the more effort that you put into it. It's just like anything else that you put effort into. If you went to school and you got a degree, you put effort into that. And then what are you going to do when you get your degree? You're going to go into your job field and you're going to research and you're going to put effort into it, and you're going to strategize on how to get a good job. It doesn't just come without a strategy. You're not just going to go out and apply to jobs willy-nilly and not make sure your resume is good. Like, you need a good strategy. So you have to apply that same mindset to YouTube. And that's the thing that I had to change overall. So that's like a bonus tip that I had to do. So tip number 6 kind of is your mindset. You do need to change your mindset and look at this like it is a business, and you do have to strategize. I'm not saying come on here and be strategic as far as I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not saying come on here and be strategic as far as what you are saying. You do want to be honest and real with the things that you are delivering on here. But when it comes to the type of content that you're providing, your thumbnails, your description boxes, to the analytical side of things, you do need to utilize that in order to grow your audience. So I hope you learned something in this video. I hope this inspired you. And I hope that you grow on this platform. And comment down below what you do on here and the things that you are going to do to help your channel grow and elevate. We are a community. We share, let's collaborate, let's work together as a small YouTube community and grow together.